Hello once again YouTube, Chris the Nightwing here bringing you some StarMade showcases, and today we are taking a look at the Stockholm-Class Battlecruiser by Atezscar. I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. I must say this is one hell of a ship, and I'm quite glad that I'm doing this review series because I would never have messed around with this ship otherwise, and it has got crazy amounts of weapons, a decent interior as well. We're going to be taking a look at all of that in the upcoming few moments, I guess. So, as you can see, it's got some amazing details in the hull. We've got some crazy stuff going on the front here. I have no idea what any of this is. It almost reminds me of Forerunner stuff from Halo. The crystal blocks used as detailed striping for the entirety of the hull on the front. We have some crazy fan-looking thing up here at the front of all of those weapons. I have no idea what any of this stuff does or the capabilities of this ship, which is quite scary. I might just blow up something entirely when I fire the weapons on this thing. And of course the turrets on this thing are also just as deadly, it looks like. Now I've mentioned this in the past, but I will mention it again. Do not be afraid to use something other than standard or advanced armor on your ships. There are two other types of armor available, two other types of hull, I should say, and they can definitely add something where other, methods of detailing may not, such as these greebled bits. Those might stand out more if they were a different texture, and therefore a different hull type. And of course, for things like this greeble, you don't really need to worry about it's already an additional layer of armor. It's totally fine to maybe turn these into standard or regular hull, so it's definitely worth looking into. Of course, there are some details, such as these pods down here, that do utilize standard armor, but I think it could be a little bit more widespread along this build. There are two shuttles on the side of the ship, and as you can see, there are tons of turrets across the hull. There are turrets on this thing. It's quite ridiculous. We have something right here. I have no idea what type of turret this is. It looks crazy. If we come up here, you can see that there is turrets on top of turrets on this thing, or at least that's what it appears to be. Those look like anti-missile turrets on top of a turret. It's quite ridiculous. I don't even actually know if this is a turret based on the way it's built. I mean, it could be. And actually, I could find out real quick. Let me just... It is. Okay, it is. It is indeed its own ship, docked to the bottom. You can tell because you can see this hull even though it's flush. You can only do that if it's another entity. So, that is its own turret. It looks like it even has overdrive on it. Beams with potentially damage pulse with overdrive. That is some heavy-duty firepower right there, let me tell you. My god. We'll take a look at the internals of that turret in a moment. We have a different design up here. This thing's got quite a number of turret designs on it, and even more spots for additional AMS turrets to be placed on it. That's quite insane, the amount of defense that this thing has. But I'm totally appreciating that. That's amazing. There's even additional docks on the base hull that are empty for turrets as well. You can see that there's a lot of lighting, but there's in fact little interior where the lighting is. That is, it's a technique for trying to demonstrate that the ship is larger than it actually is, or convey that feeling. But it's definitely, worth it to even actually put in those additional decks. Not saying that the builder has to, because as you'll see, the interior of this thing is actually still quite impressive. So maybe that's entirely okay. Maybe that's acceptable. There doesn't need to be a massive, fully built, laid out interior to this ship, because what is already there is already quite impressive. Look at this, another type of gun. These things here are actually escape pods, and we'll take a look at those in a few moments, and I have not tested out their functionality, but I would certainly like to. Got two of these guns back to back, it seems. Pretty cool. We'll take a look at this, all of the guns if we can. I should mention right now that this will be a longer episode than usual, just because of the scale of this thing. You can see the engine design here, which is... I really like it. It's almost an abstract engine design with this layered effect here, with the crystal blocks. That's something I have not really seen, and from afar, it looks very artistically styled, almost. It's quite strange how the lighting works, but I'm quite glad it works that way. It kind of pops out each of those layers with a little bit of shading in the recesses there. Let's see an even bigger one above. Looking phenomenal. And even more turrets on the back, of course. Would you expect anything less? No, not at all. So let us take a look at the interior. Let's get through this as fast as I can, because we're already down 6 minutes and I've only got 12 to go. Or at least I hope that I'll be able to accomplish. This may be a very long episode, I will mention that right now. So this is a shuttle that's docked on the side, and it docks pretty much perfectly with the ship. So let's undock real quick if we can. It comes with a Bobby AI module, it seems. Now, it also seems that you can dock further away and it'll back up. That's quite nice. I like that. What are the capabilities of this ship? It's got quite a crazy array of cannons, and if we shoot the ship, we're doing no damage whatsoever. Or so it says by that little indicator. Let's real quickly spawn in an Isanth and test the capabilities of this. Shields on the Isanth are still present. Why is that? Why are the shields not going down? That's a problem. What's going on? I hope I'll be able to take down shields on things. I need to test out the capabilities of this thing. Hold on a second. Let's move over a sector. Just to see if there's a problem with that sector or something. I don't know. No, there's not. What's going on? I don't understand. Is it really just the ship is incapable of doing damage to shields? I have no idea. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, let's dock this thing back up. If we can. And we are now moving back into position. Quite nice. Look at that. Beautiful. It's a transfer gravity to this ship so that we don't leave it. We're going to take a look at the entirety of this as much as we can and as fast as we can. We've got some crew quarters. We've got a storage area here that pretty much abruptly ends. And I guess we'll go down first. We have the same thing on the other side, and this leads to the other docked ship. We have what appears to be some sort of brig and a security station here. And the same on the other side. Fantastic details. We will go up first. And into the mess hall. A very large mess hall. Quite suiting. And surely accommodates the entirety of the ship. However, the kitchen is quite sparse. There should be a kitchen much larger than this behind a mess hall of this size. So I would highly suggest the builder do a bit of an extension on that. And add some more kitchens behind another room, perhaps. Here we have an elevator system. If I call this, the elevator should appear. Oh no, it's already here. Okay, never mind. Right, so we'll take the elevator in a moment. I want to check out these escape pods. If we could jump into here, and then what? I don't know. I don't know! I don't know if there's something we were supposed to do. Perhaps. Perhaps. But this is the escape pods. It's not exactly escaping me as quickly as I had anticipated. But that's how it works. It would be nice if there was some sort of jettison feature that actually shoved you out of the ship. That would be quite pleasing, I think. Gravity modules everywhere, because of course I'm messing around with the escape pods. That comes quite in handy. We'll take the elevator in a moment. Let's explore this deck in its entirety. We have more crew quarters, it seems, with a basic bed. Pretty nice. Then at the end we may have captain's crew quarters, because there's apparently a window here that you can close the blinds on. Its own kitchen, or stove. It's quite an empty room, to be completely honest. For its size, there's a lot of extra space where there's nothing going on. Additionally, this hallway is also quite plain, so I think maybe just sprucing up the details of some of these areas is suggested. Alright, so let's go down to the bottom first, because this is where the core is, and I must say the core room is phenomenal. We can see some of the doors there. This core room is quite fantastic. A lot of details on this hallway. Look at this. This is the core room. And I have to say, this is one of the craziest core rooms I've ever seen. Look at that. Fantastic details. Got the fans all over the place. I will say, however, that maybe it would be more effective to just use a straight hull block instead of these wires in order to convey that effect. Can potentially run those wires or those pipes in the floor, like flush with the floor underneath those larger wires that you lay down on top, just to make that appear the way you want. I think that'd be a better execution. And of course, here is the actual ship. Now I'm inside, one camera in the front, two cameras in the front, one camera in the bridge, and the core view. We'll take a look at that in a moment. Let's take a look at the other decks on this ship real quick if I can. I'm running out of time, and I would very much like to spawn in an enemy for me to fight. Not just spawn in another ship to shoot at. You can do that, for sure, but I would like to actually spawn in an enemy to fight. So we have a room on this side that sort of looks like a classroom, although I could be wrong. Some large hallways, lots of fans. Lots of fans. Another sort of storage room. This almost reminds me of some sort of like hydroponics garden or something, without the garden. Don't know why. Here we have what appears to be the tactical bridge, and this is the tactical bridge because we have some sort of display here hovering in front of this little walkway, elevated walkway. Oh wow, look. This is what I was talking about. Have the wires work like this in the floor. I think that would be a much nicer effect. And then in front of it we have a little miniature model of the ship, it seems, which is quite nice. A very large room dedicated to the functions of the ship. This almost feels like an engineering deck now. A very dangerous and red-looking engineering deck. We've got a number of computers in here. You know, something like this, where the blocks are just diagonal like that, I'm not fond of, but in this case it quite works. It works quite nicely because those all have nice details, and it kind of seems like maybe that's how that would be structured, just to give it maximum surface area. Alright, so running back, we do have a bridge area to take a look at. So let's see if I can get in there as quick as I can. Go up to deck 3. This may be the deck where we came from. We'll see. It is. Okay. Is it? Yes, it is. Okay. Going even further up. Oh, look, there's like an access hatch. Nice. Okay, so this is the top. The style of the hallway has changed almost. This elevator also does not feel entirely completed, so that's something to think about. Although that may just be an intentional design decision. I feel like maybe it'd be worth it. Oh yeah, that seems a little weird. This maybe isn't supposed to be here. Okay, so we're at the top. This is obviously the bridge deck. And we have more escape pods on the side here. I must say that that looks quite mechanical, and I like the look of that from the back. Looks like a piece of machinery for sure. Here is, of course, the command chair with a massive view overlooking the top of the ship. We've got chairs and little computer terminals all over the place. And this is apparently where all the weapon systems and computers of the ship are actually held. It's looking great. So I think I have discovered the entirety of the interior. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure there were only 2 elevators when I came through this before, so I should have hit them both now. So we're going to take this cannon and we're going to launch it entirety. Oh my god. Wow, we have shredded this Isanth. Its armor is already gone. Wow, it's overheated. It did not stand a chance. Let us spawn in. I guess that didn't work. Okay, we'll spawn in a few of these, right? And let's spawn in 10 just to see if there's enough in terms of these missile computers to hit all of them. Wow, look at that. Going everywhere. Let's hope they can come around and hit those Isanths with the force. Surprisingly, not as much damage as I was expecting, but to these Isanths, they've done significant damage still, which is pretty nice, pretty impressive. I'm digging it. Really digging it. That's pretty awesome. Very cool. And then there is a damage beam, which has caused a power failure. Wow! And in fact, I can't even fire it again because there's not enough power to start it up. We'll just quickly go through this thing. It doesn't seem to be doing the damage anymore now. That's an issue. It says I'm doing damage, but there's clearly no breaking of the blocks. I wonder what causes that. Because I would really like to know. I need to be able to damage blocks for this to work. I think what we're going to do is clean up all these spawned ships. We will spawn in another one of these, and let's hope that it works and that I can do damage to the shields on this thing. Yes, the shields are going down, and they are going down much quicker than I anticipated. 80, 70, 60%. Fantastic. This damage beam, oh wow, that is a pretty powerful damage beam. It brought it down from 60% all the way to 10%. Impressive. Do some damage with these missiles, which have gone forward, and it's kind of jumping me around a bit. Let's continue the barrage. The missiles do not seem to be doing as much damage as I would have thought. We also have, of course, the jump drive and a scanner. The stats there are in the lower left. It's jumping me around far too much. I don't like that. Maybe it's because I'm on a sector boundary or something. Let's actually start performing some damage on this hull. Let's see how much it can take. I would very much like it if the game would stop jumping the ship around, because I need to get close so I can see. Okay, so we are doing some damage to the hull. I can see the cuts there quite nicely. Let's see how much this does. Boom. We'll just see what that did to this turret. Wow, it went right through. Oh my. Oh my, oh my. Now, I don't think this turret did that, or that beam did this damage to this, but I could be wrong. We can test. We can test. Let's do another shot. It's not recharged, it seems. We can see that there is indeed quite a bit of damage being done by these cannons. Look at that. That is monstrous. Monstrous. If we take a look, I'm not even sure where I am. Is that where I was shooting? No, it's right here. Look at the damage that these cannons do to this ship. Terrifying. That is quite the damage. Look how far I'm reaching with those cannons. I would like to see how far I could reach into the ship with the beam, though. So let's target a ship that, or a section of the ship that I have not yet hit, and let's see if I can tear through it. For something that powerful, I'm hoping that it goes right through. It does! Very nice! So that is like a sniper shot right there. And that sucks all the power out of the ship, which just tells you how massive that must be. The missiles still not doing as much damage as I thought they could. But that's okay. And of course, we've brought the ship down 10% on its structure HP already. Pretty impressive. I suppose we could take a look at turrets as well. Just to see the capabilities of some of these turrets. So let's jump into this one, maybe? Not as much of a range on that. Oh, wow. Is that a beam? A green beam that I'm seeing? It's got quite a long reload rate. Let's see if we can get it to fire again. Yes? No? Please? Yes? No? Oh my, that is a massive reload. Okay, that's why it's taking so long. Let's jump into another turret. Let's see what this one can do. Another power failure, and another massive reload time. Not as long as the other one, it seems. Wow. And this one? What does this do? I'm just having some fun messing around with all these turrets. Oh my. What crazy view have I gotten myself locked into? Oh. Okay. Oh, that's a docking module. Did I undock? Oh, I did. Shit. That's not good. But we're shooting. We're flying away. Oh no. Alright. Let's jump into this thing. Let's delete that. Oh shit, I should have done the delete entity dock. Oh, the ending of this video is not going as according to a plan as I had hoped. Well, that was pretty entertaining, a massive, most powerful warship, no doubt. So thank you for joining me. That was the Stockholm-Class Battlecruiser by Atezscar, I believe is the name. I cannot see the name on my PC at the moment, so I'm sorry for potentially butchering that and mispronouncing some things or missaying things. The description has the download link below, so you are free to grab that if you so desire. I'm going to delete that asynth. And everything else is hidden behind us, so that's great. A fantastic ship, a fantastic build, crazy details, crazy firepower, and it's really fun. I can imagine this will be quite fun to get into some pretty big battles with. And you know what? Actually, as a way to end this episode, we are going to mass spawn the Stockholm-Class Battlecruiser. Faction -1, I believe, is the pirates. And it should not be happy with me. Let's see if it... Oh yes, there it goes. Wow, look at all that firepower. How are my shields faring? Oh, I'm fine. Okay. It's just not ready to unleash its full barrage on me. Well, thank you for joining. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you all next time.